Hi, my name is Max Wolter, and I have recently been studying gamer qualities and their application to world problems. Video games are such a relevant thing to this day and overall have a negative look upon them as unhealthy, a waste of time, and very addictive. And since it's so relevant to this day, I wanted to further research this topic. This led me to my research question of to what extent do video games impact and influence gamers? And after further research, I came up with the claim that while it is true that video games can be addictive, active, consistent gaming develops crucial life skills and can influence positive routines. Here's some of the reasons why gaming can positively affect players. Gaming teaches many positive qualities like active listening, creativity, communication, dependability, quick decision making, and team building. And most popular games are built around these principles. One main principle is teamwork. Tons of games build their games around this key factor, and that only their goal or victory can be truly reached if they work together as a team. This skill will be used all throughout your life, and it's important to learn. Jane McGonigal, a game developer, says that it takes lots of trust to play a game with someone, saying that gamers have to depend on each other, work together, and communicate together to achieve their goal. Teamwork is an everyday skill. It's in sports teams, it's in the military, and it's even in job forces. Teamwork is such an important skill that some might even think about putting it on job applications. But when it's associated with gaming, it's overlooked. And it's overlooked by gaming's negative stigma. Another great thing about video games is it can create historical connections. Deborah Ramsey talks about how gamers who play first-person shooter games set in World War II regard them as a source of authentic historical experiences. This creates a more meaningful connection to historical events and report a deeper emotional engagement. Video games can give kids real-world simulations in past experiences and create better respects for historical moments. And those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. However, when historical games are brought up, they're overlooked and just still thought of as a waste of time and not looked at as a positive influence. Another great quality is urgent optimism. This is the desire to act immediately to tackle an obstacle with a reasonable hope of success. Some awesome things about urgent optimism is that it's self-motivating. It has the person try numerous times and never give up, and builds great persistence. And gamers are constantly have problems thrown at them, and they have to keep getting back up and trying harder and harder to solve them. That's a very important skill in today's society that can help solve almost any issue. Thomas Edison only invented the light bulb after numerous failures. But when urgent optimism is brought up in gaming, it's still overlooked because of gaming's negative stigma. Now, there are some fallbacks to video games. One of the first fallbacks is that it's very addictive. Gaming, lots of gamers play for long hours on end, and when new games come out, some even play for 48-hour binge sessions. And this is an extreme time and is unhealthy because long sitting can increase blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess body fat around the waist, and abnormal cholesterol levels. This was said by Dr. Edward R. Larowski, a certified board of physical medicine and co-director of the Mayo Clinic. He also reports that long sitting can increase the risk of death from cardiovascular disease and cancer. Obviously, sitting for long periods of time can be very unhealthy and detrimental to your health. However, with moderate exercise for 60 to 75 minutes, all the effects of sitting for long periods of time are completely countered by this moderate exercise. And long periods of sitting aren't just in gaming. Some jobs have have their workers sit for hours on end at their desks, also giving unhealthy symptoms to their workers. Another fallback to gaming is that it can give eye strain. An ophthalmologist, Dr. Matthew Gardens, reports that when looking at a screen, you're so focused that your blink rate can go from 15 to 16 blinks a minute to only 5 to 6. This can cause blurry vision, headaches, and discomfort to the eyes. But there's an easy solution to this. Teardrops, or artificial tears, can completely override all these effects. And high focus gaming isn't the only thing that makes people focus for long periods of time. When you're at your job or you're in a sporting event, you also have to focus critically. And this can also reduce the amount of times you blink within a minute. So sitting for long periods of time in eye strain aren't just applicable to gaming. And one final fallback is that many believe that gamers have no real world impact. That even though gamers learn these amazing qualities, they are only used in these games. And people still see playing video games as a huge waste of time and see no results. This leads me to some of my solutions to help give gaming a better, more positive stigma and create a healthier environment for gamers. My first solution is to create time limits on platforms of gaming. If all gaming platforms had an easy accessible way to limit time they spend playing video games, gamers could live with more balanced life to give their eyes rest from extreme focus on screens and get in even some exercise to help override the effects of sitting for long periods of time. However, there are some limitations to this solution. Most gamers probably wouldn't use this because of gaming's addictiveness, or they'd find a way around it. And most gaming devices want to encourage long hours of playing because it supports their products. Another solution is to create games that influence gamers' lifestyles and behaviors. Jane McGonigal, a gaming developer, created a game that put gamers in real-world scenarios, but with extreme problems. One of them was a gas and oil shortage. Gamers had to live around this obstacle and live in a more conservative lifestyle. And after all the data was collected of their gameplay and their lifestyles, it was found that their gameplay actually rubbed off into their lifestyles, that some of their conservative routines they had in the game, they started using in their real lives. Using this data, I came up with the solution to create a game that rewards things like recycling, planet-friendly cars, or planting things in a virtual game. This could create new routine for gamers outside of their virtual reality. And this could give gaming a more positive stance, as it would have gamers actually impact the world in a positive way. It's a step in the right direction, and players would actually impact the world and give gaming a positive stigma. Now, this game would need a lot of funding for research to find out. It would need further research funding. It would need research to make the game and to produce it. In conclusion, video games can impart teamwork, persistence, and urgent optimism, but most of these qualities are overlooked by factors and by a negative stigma on gaming of it being unhealthy, a waste of time, and addictive. With creating a game that influences gamers' routines and influences positive practices, gaming can become a helpful practice and actually change the world. Gaming, even though gaming has a negative stigma, it develops important life skills that are crucial in life, and with my solution, can influence positive practices that give gamers real-world impact. Thank you.
Max, what information did you need before you began your research, and how did that information shape your research?
I needed to know whether gaming actually had positive qualities or if it was just negative, and that I need to know if anything positive could actually come out of playing video games. And once I found that that some gameplay can rub off into their real lives, I built my research around that, creating the idea that it can give off these positive qualities and practices to gamers.
What additional questions emerged from your research, and why are these questions important?
Could you repeat that?
What additional questions emerged from your research, and why are these questions important?
One additional question was, even though gaming's unhealthy, how is it unhealthy? And so I had to research how it was unhealthy, how gaming was unhealthy, and then I had to research how things like eye strain and long periods of sitting could be cured easily. And these were important because it let me state my counterclaims and state what was detrimental to my argument, but still come up with simple solutions to them that overall built my paper a stronger base.
Thank you.